Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going to be diving into something pretty powerful, I think. We're talking about resilience. How do people bounce back from, like, really tough stuff? Even better, how can they turn those tough times into, well, triumphs?
Yeah, I mean, you hear that phrase, finding the value in disaster. Like, what's the good that can come out of something truly awful?
Right. And it sounds crazy, but you see it all the time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, history's full of these stories.
Okay, so like Thomas Edison, right?
Yeah.
His lab burns down, like completely destroyed in 1914. Years of work, prototypes, everything gone.
Total disaster, you'd think.
But get this, he says, all our mistakes are burned up. Now we can start anew. Like how?
I mean, talk about a mindset shift, but maybe that fire, as tragic as it was, like, it freed him.
Freed him.
Yeah. Not tied to old prototypes or, outdated technology. He could jump ahead, explore entirely new ideas.
Okay, so not minimizing the loss, but like finding that silver lining.
Exactly. And you see the same kind of response from the filmmaker Robert Flaherty.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that.
All his films, like years of work, poof, gone in a fire. Devastating. But then he bounces back, produces Nanook of the North, a total landmark documentary. I think these stories show us that sometimes, loss, it can force us to be more creative, more resourceful even.
I get that, but is there a danger there? Like romanticizing hardship?
Right, right. Not every loss leads to a big success story. Definitely not.
That's a good point.
Resilience isn't about ignoring the pain or pretending that everything happens for a reason. It's about acknowledging that loss, but then, like, choosing to focus on what you can control.
Like your response.
Exactly, your outlook, your
Well,
next step.
makes sense. And speaking of next steps, I keep thinking about the story of Ruth in the Bible. It's like the definition of resilience.
Oh, classic story. So much to unpack there.
Okay, so the setup. Naomi, she's lost her husband and both her sons. It's like the worst. And she decides to go back home. But here's the thing. She tells her daughters-in-law, Orpah and Ruth, to stay behind.
Wow, so selfless, right? Like, in the middle of her own grief, she's telling them, don't let my tragedy define your future.
And it's so interesting how they react. Orpah, understandably goes back to her own people. But Ruth,
Ruth makes a different choice.
totally. She's like, nope, I'm sticking with Naomi. Pledges her loyalty, even though it means leaving everything behind, facing a totally uncertain future.
It's amazing, speaks to their bond, but also to Ruth's strength. She doesn't just accept her fate, she chooses a new path,
Yeah.
embraces the unknown.
And that decision, well, a lot of people know this, it puts her in the lineage of Jesus.
Talk about unexpected outcomes.
Right. But even without knowing that, the story just, it resonates. Like it speaks to hope and resilience in the face of, well, unimaginable loss.
Totally. It's about the choices we make within that hardship.
Yes. That's what gets me. It's not just about enduring it. It's about what you do during it.
And that brings us back to, our listeners. What about you? What losses in your own life are they actually opportunities?
Yeah. Like maybe it's the end of a relationship or losing a job, even a personal setback. Could that be, like Edison's burned lab, a chance for a new beginning? Something better that you can't even picture yet?
It's a good question to consider.
This week, think about a specific setback you've had. Try to see it as an opportunity. What could it open up for you? What unexpected triumph might be on the other side? Think about that. And until next time, keep exploring, keep choosing, and keep diving deep.